yards a week ago, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0. Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
We talk so much about how coaches script things, especially on offense, to start a season, to start a game, whatever it is. Could they have scripted a better start in terms of playing? Offensive Player of the Week in the NFC, and his team won their season opener.
Absolutely. Perfect start to the year, but all the talk was, hey, that was week 1. Now we got to move forward.
Let's do it again in week 2. That's what he's told his teammates.
On first down, it's Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Newton caught by the tight end Ertz. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The starters now on the defensive side of the ball for Indianapolis. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league. So there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
Throwing on third down, Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
On first down, it's Long. Sharks got it left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On second down, here's Locke. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Flushed out right, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Toss it to Coleman. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Talk.
From the gun, here's Locke. Forced out to his left. And it's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field. All right, this is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. They'll turn a power game to try to get in. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Here's Locke. Now he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are going to take a first quarter lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. A shotgun snap for Newton. And he finds Stills, complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
The numbers for Zeke from last week. 22 carries, 111 yards.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get the play action and throw the ball.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Out of the gun, Newton. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Newton now to throw. And Stills over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that can be your safety valve we saw right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Newton. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. Oh, and now he pulls him over. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Now, the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's the fullback. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
To throw is Love. Wide open, Gronkowski. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Gronk's first catch, good for a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Caught left side by Hilton. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Here's Coleman on the toss. Flashed the stick skills on that run, but then stopped shy of the 35. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 3rd down, that's Coleman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Now a first down throw. Luck. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one. He was hoping to get that one to Tevin Coleman in space. And now it's second down. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Being chased out left. Open man left side is Gronkowski. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Coleman now. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
This is caught. Gronkowski. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. A shotgun snap for Luck. Dance, and the Colts are in for the touchdown.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Gano the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. 13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on first down. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay, but in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Locke. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis, and also move the sticks.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the field.
It's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
From the red zone now, Locke. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Again, Locke. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Locke showing he can be dangerous when he tucks and runs. He's able to pick up the first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Locke into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying under double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
Wesley Woodyard there on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Again, it's Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the fourth. On first down, Luck. Flush to his right. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. A good pickup there at 22.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Luck on first down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was what's commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
Coleman. Oh, twisting away. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On third down, that's Coleman down right around the 25. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Love the effort there. I mean, to get a field goal block in this situation because they knew what was going on. They give up those 3 points there. It's now a 2-possession game.
Yeah, that really changes the complexion here in the second half, doesn't it?
It really does. And now you give your team more than a fighting chance and a little momentum. Terrific job by them setting the tone and picking up their defense.
Ertz over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot defensively. How do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that will pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Newton throwing again. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. So the failure to convert, no doubt, really hurts. But this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help in big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a 1st down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They will run again with Coleman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Luck now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. He's back to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. The extra point, a vital one, and he gets it to go. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Meanwhile, in Nashville, they're on to the fourth quarter now. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Matt Ryan, 2 touchdown passes to lead the way. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. First throw now for the backup Bortles. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, 54, Ricky. 11.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
The Colts on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, 54, Ricky. Move.
Now Bortles. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now Brown. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Now Newton. Over the middle to Smith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Newton. Over the middle, complete. That's Smith. And he'll be taken down inside Indy's 15-yard line. And now they're going to get the timeout. So a huge play has him in field goal range with a chance to possibly send this one to OT. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So now it'll all come down to Robbie Gould. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So now it'll all come down to Robbie Gould. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this?